So right away, you begin to learn some of the issues that people that have disabilities face, and it hit you right off the bat. So when we were taught to teach independent travel, we had to do everything under blindfold. Mm-hmm. We had to eat, we had to do everything, and the instructor said, who was from England, he said, and he was mean.
Well,
he was very adamant that you never take off, no matter what happens, you will never take off your blindfold. And I remember early on, we were in a big building, a Macmillan Center, which is like a hospital, and I had the blindfold on, and I was going down a corridor somewhere, and the fire alarm went. And by geez, I never took that blindfold off. And unfortunately, one of the things I noticed was not one person, as they all rushed to go outside, not one person offered to assist me.
Wow.
Yeah. So one of the reasons I'm bringing this up is when we were taught orientation and mobility, we had to do it because we had to prove to ourselves we could do it. I had to travel all through Toronto, subways, buses, going into stores, etc. We had to prove it to ourselves that we could do it before we knew we could teach it to somebody else. And I think that was hugely important.
No doubt.
Plus, it allowed us to see the issues that people without sight, in my case, would face when they were traveling. So,
well, aren't those stories interesting? No, it's interesting that you bring that up because putting someone in as much as or as a similar perspective as possible is hugely important because, obviously it scares them half to death. And you really, I imagine, I've never done it before, but I imagine you do get a taste of what it is like to try to at least walk a mile in the person's shoes who has the impairment.
Exactly.
Right?
We can't ever know, and this is why he was so adamant about not taking off a blindfold. We cannot know what it's like to be blind, but we can try and get some of the feelings, try and see the problems that arise so that we can find the skills to help somebody who has a visual impairment overcome those obstacles. And it was very important. And there's nothing like being scared to death out on the roadway to make you very aware of how your student might be feeling at that particular point in time.
Craving even more disability content? Links to the full podcast episode and other great clips are only a tap or click away, just waiting for you in the description.